It's the weekend. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Yeah. How about you, Pop? Getting sick?
Excellent, excellent.
Getting sick.
No, I'm not getting sick.
Vinny, how was work today?
It was great. A lot of rushing, a lot of rushes today at
Uh,
work.
this whole week felt long for me, but today's the day where we get to be doing this, and we always be looking forward to this recording the show. Welcome to the Sports Rap Podcast Show. I'm Gilbert Gonzalez with Vinny and my dad over here. We got a great show for you today. We're gonna be talking about the wild card playoffs for baseball. Fatherly loves power rankings. Boom! I just made that up right now.
Nice.
Fatherly loves power rankings for the first month of the NFL. Contenders or pretenders later on today for the show for the 2-2 teams for in the NFL. So we'll get that going right now. But right now we'll start with the Nationals and the Brewers. On Tuesday, they played on Tuesday, right? Pretty sure they did. The
Yeah, they
Nationals
did.
beat the Brewers 4-3. I think the Brewers had the 2-0 lead before actually giving up some runs.
Yeah, the bottom of the eighth inning.
The Nationals came clutch.
Yeah, Juan Solo. He puts Soto. He puts a liner to right field. It should have just scored at least one, maybe two runs. I mean, Gresham's got a great arm for a young right fielder, and being young, he makes a rookie mistake, and it just cost him the game. Really, if you looked at the play, it was just like one of those oh no plays. Like you knew something bad was gonna happen when you saw that ball just get driven into right field, and it's not an error you see from Gresham normally.
Mhm.
He's a very good fielder, but it was just playoff nerves. I think it just got to him, you know, having a sizable lead and then the ball comes to you and you just messed up. You know, it could have been a routine play, but it wasn't, sadly, for the Brewers, and that's how they ended their season.
Yeah, I saw it the same way. It was a great game throughout. The first three innings, the score was 3-1. I mean, 4 runs came in the first three innings. I was expecting more, but after that, it was like frozen. Like the middle innings from 4 through 7, nobody scored, not many hits, and when the Milwaukee Brewers took the lead into the bottom of the eighth, I thought it was I was thinking it was over. I thought, because they had their best pitcher out there, in my opinion, Josh Hader, and this guy is not one to blow saves the way he did this one. I mean, you're talking about somebody who came into a game 17 times this season with a two-run lead, and the team went 17-0, and to blow it in one of the most important games of the season, that was pretty tremendous. Yeah, and the play that Grisham made, it reminded me of the Bill Buckner Boston when against the Mets in the World Series when the ball went under his legs. Same thing. Grisham just didn't go underneath the ball. He just did not get underneath the ball. I think what he was thinking was when he grabbed the ball, I think he was concentrating, like, how sometimes in football when they make that move, like when they miss a ball and they catch it,
Right.
but then they look to where they're going to run. Grisham had that same momentum. I think he was trying to get the ball, and he was trying to see where he was going to throw it.
Oh.
And the ball just got under him.
Yeah, it should have been a routine play by Gresham, but I think he was thinking ahead. I think, when you're up by, I think they were up by 2 at that point. But I think the bases were loaded. The bases were loaded, weren't they? Yeah, the bases were loaded. So you can't drive in. You can let the first guy through. You still have that lead, but you can't let that second guy through. I think he was just trying to tag that guy out, or
Mhm.
try to just make him stop. Like at third. But I'm pretty sure he was trying to make a play, but it just, he just messed up. And it just sucks. He's a young star, and I don't want, he has a lot of potential, Trent Grisham, and I don't want to see a career just get, messed up because of one mistake. I don't want this mistake to be like a career defining one. A meltdown kind of like.
Yeah, and let's not take away anything from Juan Soto. I mean, that was a great hit under pressure. Lefty, and I believe it was lefty versus lefty. He's a left-handed hitter, and Hader's a left-handed pitcher. So it was hard. It was tough, and I don't want to take anything away from him. He did great under pressure.
Okay. Well, they advanced to the second round, and they ended up losing. The Nationals. They ended up losing against the Dodgers the other night, right?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Game
All
one.
right. All right. Another game was the Rays against A's. Pop, you had the A's all the way to the World Series.
Yeah, what a disappointment. I mean, you're talking about a team. I don't think anybody expected this. I mean, maybe they expected the Rays to win, but I mean, this team was 25th in the league in home runs, and the Oakland A's were 7th in the league in home runs, and the Rays just hit a lot of home runs off of the opposing pitcher Manaea. And the one thing that me and Vincent were because we were watching it together and we were looking at Yandy Diaz's home runs, both of them. First one, fastball, outside, high and outside. Second home run, the same exact pitch. This guy hits it the same, and it was exactly if you were to take both home runs side by side and look at them, I
Pretty much
swear
the same.
they're gonna be the same
Same.
and land in the same spot.
You know, the Rays, I had a lot of belief in them coming into this game. A quick little stat that I actually searched up. Ever since 1997, which was the year that Billy Beane took over as GM, the A's have only won one playoff series in this whole time span. In elimination games, in a must-win, win or go home,
They never won.
They're 0-8. They're 0-8. So 0-7. Now they're 0-8. But I mean, this was just the case. I think it was just a case of the pitching just taking over the bats. You know, I've always thought in my philosophy of baseball that pitching is more important than batting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would put pitching first, then batting, because this was the number one ranked team, also as well as defensively and pitching. And the Athletics, you know, they come in with these high home run counts. They came in fifth in home runs, which is absolutely like. And you look at how many home runs total that they hit, this season. It would have. I think it broke a team record, the amount of home runs they had, and they just completely got shut down by a Rays team who they barely put any runs on the board, but I think they just didn't need to in this game, and those two home runs, like you said, the same exact pitch as the two home runs by Yandy Diaz, the same exact pitch. My question now is that the A's should have started Mike Ferris instead of Manaea, and I think they should have started Ferris. I think this game would have been totally different.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the whole energy was just taken away from them in the first two innings, going up 3-0, and then another home run that happened, and then they came back, and then another run happened as well in the fifth inning. But I think with Ferris pitching, I think he would have gotten him closer. It's just Manaea I just don't know what happened to Manaea in that game. It's not really usually seen from him. He's usually very dominant. He's a very good pitcher, and again, it shocked me seeing the A's lose that game as well.
Yeah, I think we all were kind of like just going for the underdog, like the major underdog in the Oakland A's. But do you think the Rays still have a chance to at least compete with the Astros?
No, I don't think so. I think the Astros, they're World Series favorites. In my opinion, if I was looking at this from a statistical standpoint, I think the Astros and Dodgers would go on again in the
For the
World
second
Series
time
for the
in
second
3 years?
time. Their pitching is amazing. They have like three of the best starters in baseball right now in Cole, Verlander, and Greinke. They have a pretty good bullpen. Their batting has been better than ever. They're one of the strongest teams offensively, and they have an MVP caliber player in Bregman, as well as a good supporting cast such as Jordan Alvarez, I'm sorry, George Springer and Jose Altuve, and I think it's just gonna be too much for the Rays, and I think it's probably gonna be a sweep for the Astros if they, I think today they won
Yeah, they did.
in decisive fashion,
Mm-hmm.
and again, I think they're just gonna steamroll in this postseason, at least in my opinion. What do you think, Pop?
Yeah, I agree with you with everything you said. I mean, the Houston Astros are just strong offensively. And of course their pitching. He just mentioned three of the best pitchers out there. I mean, there's no comparison, but Tampa Bay is going to give it a go. They're going to like nobody really I think everybody like you said was going for the underdog, but even the numbers the offensive numbers would agree with you when we said that Oakland would beat Tampa Bay. The offensive numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But Vinny's right. Their pitching is much more superior than the Oakland A's. So I think that's what I
Got
mean.
them
Not,
over.
I mean, they also surprised everybody with all these homers, but they're gonna try to get it done. They're gonna try to. They're gonna. It's gonna be a series, but Houston, I think they're just too good. Unfortunately, but Tampa Bay's pitching, like Vinny said, it is very good. So hopefully they'll give them a series.
Okay. We move on to the Cardinals against the Braves. Vinny, Cardinals. I know that you said that the Braves were gonna. Well, actually, it's just one game.
Yeah, I know,
But-
but still, the way that I didn't think at all that we had a chance in this series. I thought both pitching and batting that the Braves were superior, even though many people are saying that Flaherty is looking like a dark horse for the Cy Young because of the fantastic second half of the season he had. I mean, Atlanta, their bats are just better. They're a
Mhm.
better overall team. And the way that we won on Thursday?
Yeah.
Yesterday, it was just amazing. I mean, it came pretty close in the end. It was 7-4 before the ninth, but it's just I think they got a little too comfortable. I think they just didn't want to use another arm in the bullpen. I think they were just trying to see if Martinez can still kind of clutch it, I guess, because he did pitch 2 innings, which is not normally seen by Martinez. He usually come in for a setup for maybe Gallegos, or Hicks, but Hicks is not here, so he's got to cover the slack. So it was a great win. It felt nice for them winning, especially against a team that is better than them. I think I've been kind of used to this from St. Louis. I mean, they would have the most scrubbiest players you can possibly imagine, but they still pull off a win. I can name you the whole entire 2014 team. I bet you like probably 5 of those guys are not even in the league anymore because they've just been stuck in the minor league system.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was just a great game. Sadly, today we couldn't keep that magic. We lost with Flaherty on the mound, which was kind of disappointing. But overall, I think this is gonna be a good series moving forward. I think it might go 4 to 5 games. I thought this was gonna be a sweep from the Braves. I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this was gonna be a sweep. I thought the only pitcher that the Braves really need to worry about was Flaherty. I thought Mikolas, I don't think he can keep up with Freeman or Acuna or Donaldson. I don't think our other pitchers can also keep. I just thought our pitching rotation is going to be really
Shaky?
based around
Oh, okay, never mind.
Flaherty. If he was gonna make or break our rotation, But I'm very surprised I'm surprised more of us losing today than us winning yesterday, because we had our best pitcher on the mound statistically today and we lost. So I mean, I don't know. Baseball's weird. Baseball's just weird. What do you think, Pop?
Yeah, the game yesterday. I mean, St. Louis had 14 hits against the Atlanta Braves. They out-hit the Braves by a good amount. When you have a bullpen like the Braves, I mean, they had Keuchel on the mound, and he pitched. It was pretty decent. He pitched four innings and allowed only a run and three walks. He had no strikeouts. They took him out. They put in the bullpen, and they pretty much took care of everything until you got to the setup guy. The setup guy is the one who basically gets it set up for the closer. In this case, the setup guy, which was Luke Jackson, pitched 2/3 of an inning, giving up 3 hits and 2 runs. So they sat him, and they put up their second setup guy, who only pitched a third of an inning. Oh no, a full inning, had 5 hits and allowed 4 runs. I mean, they just beat up on that bullpen, and this is a bullpen that's been pretty solid for them throughout the whole season. And it surprised me that it really did surprise me that the Cardinals did win the way they won, and they did almost blow it at the end. But I think Vinny's right. I think they were just testing the water. They had a 3-run lead going into the 9th, so they were just testing the water, seeing if Martinez would be able to close out the game, and he did. He really did. I mean, he closed it out. They won, but not pretty, but they did win. So give it up for the Cardinals coming back.
I would just like to make a reminder for the pitchers coming in for this for the next game, for the upcoming games for the playoff series. For the Cardinals and Braves, it's going to be Soroka and Wainwright. Adam Wainwright, who's been a veteran in the league. I think it's his 14th season as a Cardinal, and Soroka, who basically just came up actually 2 years ago in the Braves minor league system. And also for Tampa Bay and Houston, Garrett Cole's going to be pitching for Houston tomorrow, and Blake Snell for Tampa Bay. So that's going to be a heck of a matchup right there. So
that's for game 3, right?
That's for game 2, because game 1 was today.
Game 2.
Yeah.
So the Cards are over there at Atlanta right now, right?
Yeah. Next game. I'm sorry.
I'm talking about game 1. First game 1.
First game 1, it was in Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay, and then St. Louis was able to steal one, which is great.
Yeah,
that's a good sign.
Great sign.
Great sign.
Yeah, great sign.
Game 2, they're still in Atlanta, and Atlanta takes this one.
Yep.
Okay, so St. Louis, they have 2 games in St. Louis.
So they could actually win the series. They got a shot.
You got a shot at winning.
That's good. That's good. That's if they win it. Okay. All right. Well, let's change gears now to football. Thursday night football game was Seahawks against the Rams. That was just an unbelievable game, back and forth to the very end. And Russell Wilson just keeps winning. Pop.
Man, that catch by Lockett was
unbelievable. Everybody could say, "Oh, it's a lucky catch," but every football team, every football game, you need to have a little bit of luck to win it. But that catch was great.
That catch was
oh
great.
my goodness.
That catch is great, dude. I don't know how the heck he even made that catch. It was like in the back of the end zone, the toe tap.
Kind of like what was it?
The Super Bowl.
With the Cardinals and the Steelers.
Who was it? Do you remember, Pop? Who made that catch? The toe tap.
Santonio Holmes.
I
think it was the Santonio Holmes.
There you go. Yep.
Man, that was a
Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, that was a Super Bowl.
Yeah, what you guys are forgetting about what I liked. Did you see Thompson's interception?
Yes.
Oh my God, that reminded
Busted
me of
Julian
the Edelman catch against Atlanta. That was awesome. And yeah, you're right, Junior. I got to give it up to your boy, Russell Wilson. Just keeps winning. And you know what? I was actually, we'll talk about that later when we talk about our picks for the next matches. But
right.
If you recall last weekend, I was ready to give up on Mariota, and I told you if he fouled it up, then
Which he did.
No, actually, he won against Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
So I'm sorry, he did not foul it up. He had 3 touchdowns. He had a great, and I wanted to talk to you about that game too. I'm about ready to call it quits if Russell Wilson keeps on winning. I'm just gonna call it quits because Russell Wilson is a winning machine.
Yes.
I mean.
Tell me why yesterday I was hesitant. I was hesitant to text you that I was gonna pick Seattle over the Rams, but I just didn't. I was like, no, let's just do Sunday's games. But I was like right before she was already knocked out, but before I was about to go to bed, I was about to text you. Okay, this week let me get the Seahawks, but I just
kept the Rams.
No, I didn't keep the Rams. I just had a feeling like maybe the Rams will bounce back. Yeah. So then I was like, you know what? No, we'll just call it on Sunday for Sunday's games. Call the matchups on Sunday's games. But yeah. And then what was the thing that got me happy the most was Chris Carson got his confidence back. 27 attempts, 118 yards. He almost botched the catch.
Yeah, he did.
Almost did. But he was able to,
The 2-point conversion, right?
was it the 2
It
point
was a 2-point conversion.
or the touchdown?
No,
Was
it
it 2 point?
conversion.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
no,
was two-
actually, no, I take it back. It was
It was a touchdown.
Yeah, 4th and goal. It was 4th and goal.
Touchdown, yeah.
And yeah, Chris Carson almost bombed that. but yeah, he had an amazing game. Jared Goff once again throwing almost 50 times. Yeah, one touchdown, one pick, and 395 yards. Already over 100 attempts in 2 weeks. The running game, they still can't get the running game going, even though Todd Gurley got 2 touchdowns. Like they still can't get it. They still can't get it rolling.
Yeah, look at how just unbelievable Russell Wilson is distributing this ball. He went to 8 different receivers, and they all did, what they were supposed to do. Russell Wilson is just man. This guy went 17 of 23, 268 yards, 4 touchdowns. He had a nearly perfect rating, 151.8, and with Carson running the ball the way he did, this team, I don't know. I mean, we may be surprised by the Seattle Seahawks this season.
Yeah, their defense is really stepping it up.
Yeah. It's just like this Rams. I think it's just the championship hangover this team's going through. I mean, what can he do? I mean, Goff. He threw the ball like almost 50 times. He was 29 of 49. With 395 yards and a touchdown. Again, like you said, they just can't get the running game going. Even though Gurley had the 2 touchdowns, he only had 51 yards with a 3.4 average. They can't get nothing going with the.
Has he had a 100-yard game yet? No, huh?
No, I don't think I don't think he's broken.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, I don't think he's broken through 100. But just with this Rams team, with the situation they're in, losing back-to-back games and the way that they lost a close one to the Seahawks yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost embarrassingly to the
Bucks.
To the Bucks last week. It's just, I don't know if I can trust this team, if they can bounce back next week. I mean, I'm not sure who they're playing next week. I haven't looked at the schedule yet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Dad's gonna look it up right now.
Okay, but I'm just really worried about this team. I don't know what's going on.
I think to me, who they got?
Who they got?
Don't look good. They got the sloppy Niners.
They got
Damn. I think to me, I don't think it's not just the hangover. I don't think it's not the hangover. I think it's just because of Gurley. That offense runs through him, and now we see it now the way how now they're adapting for Goff to able to pass the ball a lot, as you can see like the past 2 weeks, and Gurley hasn't been getting anything.
Yeah, but you don't have a quarterback just fling the ball 50 times a game. He flinged the ball. I think he threw it
60 something times last week.
He was close to breaking 70, and he had 500 yards. It was the most unimpressive
performance
500-yard game I've ever seen in my life. It's just, I'm not sure. I think they're just trying to make Goff into this gunslinger. Now I think they're just trying to make him just launch the ball, because at this point it's just.
Yeah, if one thing doesn't work, you're gonna have to be throwing the ball. If the running game doesn't work, you're gonna have to be throwing the ball.
But you don't have a quarterback throw the ball 60 times like the way Goff is doing.
I know, but again, they don't
go to
have.
A different back. Look at Malcolm Brown. He only got the ball once. He only rushed the ball once.
True.
They only had 18 rushing plays, and only, let me see here. No, I'm sorry, 17 rushing plays, where it was actually designed to be a rushing play. The other one was Goff just running for a yard. But still, I mean, go to a different back. Do something with the running game. At least try to get a running game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think Goff. I think he needs a running game, and if the team just can't do that for him, then I don't think this team's going to be successful. Because Goff, he can fling the ball for 400 yards. If you're throwing the ball 50 times a game, of course you're going to get 400. Of course. But he just needs something to complement his play, and so far the running game hasn't been there all season, and that's why 3-2 instead of how I thought that they were going to be one of the dominant teams in the NFC.
Yeah, their defense is just
It's out of
bad.
whack. It's out of whack.
Yeah, it's just like now I'm not saying really bad. It's just bad.
Yeah.
But Clay Matthews got his jaw broken in that game.
Yep.
Supposedly that they're saying that Chris Carson might have stepped on it or some shit like that. Like, how was that even possible if he had a helmet on, or it's something like that? I'm not even sure, but yeah, he got his jaw broken in that game. Do you think that they could get something going with the running game next week against the Niners?
I mean, they gotta salvage something. You know, they gotta take this game and they gotta see what went wrong, why they lost. You know, maybe don't have Goff throw the ball 70 times. You know, the way he's been for the past 2 weeks. You know, they just gotta get something for Gurley. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns. Okay, fine, but where are the yards at? You know, is Gurley just now becoming just a touchdown guy? Because he had 17 last season, and he was also second in yards. Right now, I don't think he's doing so well in yards. You know, so I mean, they got to do something. Pop, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't feel like they're going to get it together against the 49ers. I mean, you're talking about somebody who's in the same division as they are. There's a division rival, number 1. So Frisco's going to play their asses off next week against the Rams. Number 2, you have a team that's ranked 22nd in the NFL in rushing with 96 yards per game, which are the Rams. And then you got a rush defense that's ranked 5th in the NFL at 75 yards. So, no, they're not going to get it together.
All right. So moving on. Pop, we'll do what do you want to do first? The Contenders, Pretenders, or the...
whichever one you could do. We can do Contender, Pretender.
Power rankings.
Oh,
The fatherly love.
Okay.
The fatherly love power rankings.
Okay, fatherly love power rankings. Okay, these are the power rankings that I put together, and I put little reasons why I put them in this particular order. You guys can come in and agree with me, disagree with me, slap me in the face, do whatever you guys want to do. And this is the way they work. So I'm going to start from the top.
At the number 1?
I'm going to start at number 1. Or should I start at number 10?
Number 10 would be
okay,
better.
Number 10. Okay, I had some very difficult choices for number 10. There are a couple of teams that I would just like to mention that are going to be probably hoping they step up this week in the number 10 spot. I like the Lions. I like the Detroit Lions. They're not number 10. I have them roughly at about 11, 12. And the Philadelphia Eagles making the move, too. I like those 2 teams, just to let you know. Okay, at number 10, I got the Rams. The Los Angeles Rams at 3-2. You know, this team is still offensively good, man. I mean, they're ranked 5th in total offense this season. Okay, and obviously that has a lot to do with the passing game. Yes, they just cannot seem to get it together offensively, like we were just talking about. Their defense seems confused, but I feel like they should be able to just get it together. You're talking about the NFC champ. You're talking about last year's NFC champion. You know, so they got championship in them, and I think they just need to get it together. What do you guys think?
You know what? I feel like one aspect they look good, and that's the passing. You know, Kupp's been having a continuation of last season, because last season he was probably one of their strongest receivers who wasn't named Robert Woods. Who was having a heck of a season, not so much this year. So, yeah, but I don't think that. I mean, their defense is out of whack. You know, Gurley hasn't broke 100 yet. You know, I think I would actually take the Lions over the Rams. I feel like they've been the better team thus far into the season. I mean, it's only been 4 weeks, but I think so far the Lions been looking like the stronger team. You know, passing game, they look amazing. You know, Kerryon Johnson. I feel like they're kind of similar to the Rams, but I feel like who's got the better defense, and I think it's the Lions. You know, even though, yeah, the Chiefs, they did put up 45 against you. They also put up 40 against them as well. So they weren't a pushover to one of the AFC's best teams, you know. So I don't know. I think you may have gotten this one wrong, Dad.
All right. So I got it wrong. Okay, but I did say the Lions were 11th.
Yes.
Okay, number 9. I have the Buffalo Bills at 3-1. Okay, the Buffalo Bills, I have them at 3-1 because their only losses to the Patriots. Okay, their defense is getting it done. Damn, that D is amazing. They're second in total yards per game with 280.8, and they're fourth overall with it. They only allow 196 yards passing, but surprisingly, they're fourth in the NFL in rushing offense. They average 150 yards a game. Junior,
oh yeah, you told me.
what do you think? The Bills, number 9.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they played better than the Rams, even though I'll agree with you. The Lions are like in 11 top 12. I'll still have the Rams at 10.
You might see them next week. You might see them next week creep up, depending on how disappointed I was in that Thursday night loss with the Rams. Okay, number 8. Number 8, I got the Chicago Bears at 3-1. Their D is just unreal. 11.2 points per game, but their offense just needs help. Their offense is just so bad, but it's the defense that is winning these games for them. Junior, you take this one, Junior. I'm going to let Junior take this one. Junior, or would you want Vinny to take this one?
No, I'll take this one.
Okay, Junior, take it. Why are the Bears, are they better than number 8, or they shouldn't even be there?
I think right behind the Bills. Because Josh Allen moves the ball, and nobody's not even playing in offense as the quarterback.
See, the way I did it. I'm sorry, Vinny. I'm sorry. I got to give it to only one of you guys. The way I did it is I think the Bears could beat the Bills. That's my point.
Okay.
The Bears can beat the Bills. Okay, so this is why I put my power rankings. Who knows? Maybe the Bills will impress me a little more, like I said. All right, moving on. Number 7, I got the Cowboys at 3-1. Okay, and I'm gonna let Vinny take this one.
Oh my God!
Okay?
Hell no!
I have the Cowboys at number 7. Okay, they're third in total yards offense. Okay, and they're third in defense. But they lost to the Saints. But they didn't lose to the Saints. They lost to Will Lutz. 4 field goals. They couldn't beat a guy who's field goals.
Tell me why he came clutch for me on fantasy last weekend on the ESPN one.
I believe
he came in clutch while like a
4 field goals, an offense, a straight lights out offense like the Dallas Cowboys cannot beat 4 field goals, and plus their schedule for the first 4 weeks a little helpful. They played a lot of easy teams. That's why I have them so low. That's why I have them at number 7.
Okay.
I'm going to let Vinny take this away, but that is my reason they are number 7.
Yeah, I think that's fair. They had a breeze of the schedule until they faced the Saints. No pun intended. Yeah, I think you got this one down. Yeah, I think the offense it's been working. But the defense of the Cowboys also looking impressive as well. But again, just that loss to the Saints, that was just a bad blow for them. And of course, I'm gonna have to bring up the Dak record. I think he is 1-9 when Ezekiel Elliott does not rush over 75 yards. So, I mean, I don't think it's gonna kill him. You know, I feel like they have for being the stronger teams. I feel like they have one of the easier schedules down the road. But, man, I just can't wrap my head around you picking the Bears at 8. I can't, man. I can't.
That's already in the past. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Cowboys ain't number 7.
That's in the past. Number 6. Number 6. Okay, I'm not even going to go there. Number 6. I got the Niners at number 6. Yes, they are 3-0. They are 3-0. The last 3 teams that are undefeated. They're third in offense, fourth in passing, second in rushing. 175 yards a game they rush for. They just got to stop turning the ball over. They'll be all right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They got to stop turning the ball over. And in their defense, they're third in total yards allowed. Third in total yards allowed. So their defense is doing it as well. But they just need to improve by not turning the ball over. And the only other reason why I have them at 6 is because they had a bye. So they didn't have any reason to disappoint me.
Right.
Okay. At number 5, the Packers. They're the middle of the league in offense. In offensive categories, they're 7th in D, 3rd in passing defense. But I want to bring up something that Vinny brought up. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. No, I think it was last week. They cannot stop the run. They are ranked 26th in run defense at 142 yards a game. They got to get it together with their run defense. But they're in the middle of the league offensive on all offensive categories, even rushing. They're right in the center, about 15th, 16th ranked. So that's why I put them at about 5 with a 3-1 record.
Oh, go ahead, Vin. Now let Vin go.
Yeah. I think you got it down. It's just that run defense. I think they just can't. That rushing defense, they can't get it together. You know, Dalvin Cook just had a field day, as well as Phillip Lindsay, and then Jordan Howard is there too. Even though, I mean, Junior doesn't really have any belief in Jordan Howard.
I don't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
How many rushing yards did he had?
He had like 140, 150 something yards.
Oh yeah, the running game was going on. Yeah,
Yeah,
and Miles Sanders too. Miles Sanders too.
No, he had 86.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
86.
86.
Oh, I'm sorry.
2 TDs.
Okay.
Yeah.
But total, I mean, they just couldn't stop the rushing, you know. And I think you have him at 5th, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I think he got this one 5th, just outside the top 3. Yeah. Okay.
Not me. I'll put him at number 6.
Oh my God.
They should not be in front of the Cowboys. But
oh
go
my
ahead.
God.
They shouldn't. But go
Okay,
ahead.
we'll find out this week when they play them.
Okay.
We'll find out this week because I think the Packers are going to take the Cowboys in Dallas.
I'm already going to pick the Cowboys
Okay.
on that one.
Number 4, I got the Saints. They're 3-1. They're winning without Drew Brees.
Okay.
That
I
is
agree
my
with you
point.
on
They
that.
are
Yeah.
winning without Drew Brees, and their wins have come against a good Texans team, which was in Week 1. In Week 1, they were good. The Seahawks and the Cowboys. Those are their 3 wins. They're winning. They're winning good teams, and their defense is improving. That's why I chose them to be at number 4.
Okay, I agree with you on that one.
Everybody
Yeah, I'm
good? Everybody good? Okay. Number 3. Number 3. I got to give it to you, boy. I got to go with your Seahawks. The Seahawks at
Okay.
4-1. Their offense identity is there. They are a run-first team, but that man, Russell Wilson, is too damn good. He just knows how to win. Their offensive identity has been successful in the league so far. They are right in the center of everything, offensively and defensively. I picked them at number 3. They could have been a little bit better than my number 2, but I gotta give it to the number 2 still. They're still there, and maybe that might change after this week. I'm not sure. Anybody want to comment on the Seahawks at number 3?
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, Seahawks number 3. Boom, that's a good one right there. First time ever that I've said. Oh no, wait, never mind. I agreed with you on the Rams. Never mind. Second time.
Okay.
Yeah, because he keeps winning, dude, and
Yeah.
and I know that you have this feeling with players with big contracts.
You know what?
But-
I think I was mistaken. I may have chosen the wrong quarterback. I should have went with Jared Goff with the with the bad contract. He's having a horrible year.
oh yeah, huh? I think I would have taken that too. Like
Yeah,
nah, like
I should have went with Goff. At number 2, you're Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. They are first in passing, obviously, second in points offensively. They're an offensive juggernaut, in my opinion. They can score whenever they want and however they want. Their defense needs improvement, though.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense does need improvement, and that's the only reason why I have them at number 2.
I could go with either them or New England at number 1 as well, just because like what we saw last game, it was like Brady's terrible against the Bills. We both know that. We both know that. We didn't know about Pittsburgh how bad they were gonna be, but I'm just gonna eliminate that because we didn't know how Pittsburgh was gonna be. But the next 2 games they were going against Miami and the Jets, right? So that's the reason why I'm thinking that they shouldn't be number 1 because of their schedule. But then again, their defense is amazing. Patrick Mahomes, trying to be at number 1 too, but their offensive game is great, but their defense is struggling. So either or, I'm okay with it between them or the number 1.
Well, your either or is number 1. It's the Patriots at 4-0. They're first in defense. They're allowing 7 points per game, 243 total yards per game. They're second in rushing defense and in passing defense, and they average 30.5 points per game.
Yeah.
I mean, their offense is still getting it done.
First in sacks, and that's the first time I've ever heard that.
First time, yeah. And their offense is getting it done. Their defense is getting it done. If I can say the same thing about the Chiefs, I would have put them at number 1, but I just can't. I can't say that their offense is getting it done and their defense is getting it done. I can't say that. Yeah, Tom Brady did struggle against the Bills last week, but this is the second best offense in the NFL. Of course he's going to struggle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, yeah, he struggled in the past, but he hasn't struggled in the past with a second-ranked off defense in the NFL. So those are the other reason why the Chiefs were at my number 2 is because I think Vinny's right. I think I'm going to put the Lions at 10 next week. I'm just going to do it automatic. I don't care. They struggled against the Lions, but you know what? Surprise! The Lions are good. The Lions are good this year. So those are my top 10 power.
Okay, but Brady was struggling against the Bills.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah.
You just got. I think you just have to look at a team entirely. You know, the Chiefs almost lost that game to the Lions. I don't care what you say. They almost lost that game to the Lions. But I think the way that the Patriots team as a whole played against the Bills, it was a good outing. They only needed 16 points to win, and they got it. You know, they caused 4 turnovers from the Bills, and they're one of. I feel like
but at the same time, look at their schedule too. It's just, if you want to go by the schedule of the Dallas Cowboys, they had help. So that's what I'm going by. What he said about Dallas. That's what I'm going by with New England. We didn't know how the Steelers were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It turned out to be a blowout game. Dad called it.
Yeah.
Then they had the Jets and Miami. Of course, you're going to blow them up because they don't have anybody.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So how come he gets to say, oh, the Dallas Cowboys gets to have this and this and that. But when I say, that's when you go and say, oh, I don't care about how their schedule is and blah, blah, blah.
The only reason why I think the difference there is because how dominating the defense is being. I think if Dallas's defense would be as dominant as the Patriots defense, I would have Dallas Cowboys up there. But they're not. They're not as dominant as this defense. This defense, for some reason, is just getting it done. It's lights out. People should be afraid of them. They should be compared to like the Chicago Bears. You know, they're just getting it done just as well as the Bears are. So that's why I think I put them up. I put the Patriots up there, and their offense is just nonstop. I mean, yeah, last week they did have a little bit of a hiccup in their offense, but you know.
So did Mahomes.
Mahomes had a great game. Mahomes still had a great game, but I'm just saying that both teams did struggle with inferior teams, but you're talking about again the second-ranked defense in the NFL. I don't know how Mahomes would do against the Bills.
Who's first?
I'm sorry?
Who's first?
The Patriots.
The Patriots are first because you said second.
First. No, I mean second. I'm sorry. Second. I'm sorry. The
defense.
The third best defense in the NFL. My bad. Because the first is the Chicago Bears. So you're talking about playing somebody a defense that's not even like as good as the Bills were. You know, then talk to me about putting them up there. But it's just that they're just not they're just allowing too many points in my opinion. You know, it's always a race with Mahomes. You know, Mahomes scores, the other team scores. Mahomes has to keep it going offensively. I mean, he's the one that's making. That's why I say they're an offensive juggernaut. They can score at any angle, whatever they want to do. But as long as they keep allowing points, you know, for the other team is what's making me not want to. It's a little bit taking a risk. It's a little risky. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it's all like just. I think Brady. I think what Vinny said. Like it was a team effort. Like they figured out how to win. See the Chiefs are like, we got to score more points. We got to score more points. That's the way they win. But Brady's more like, hey dude, we got it. Let's just chill. You know, see what happens. And you know, it's more like a little bit more like a little bit of a complex, more like a complexity with Brady. Like he can say, okay, go 5 yards, go 3 yards. No, Mahomes has to chuck it deep all the time to get what he wants. So that's just my opinion. But these are just like I said, my power rankings.
Okay. All right, it's time for the contenders or pretenders. So what do you got?
Contender or pretender? Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to name you 5 teams. It's 5 teams in the NFL, and you guys tell me if they are contenders or pretenders. Because this season, as all of you know, there are how many? 22. 22 teams. Oh no, hold on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 14 teams that are 2-2 this season. But I am about to name you 5 that I'm gonna ask you if they're contenders or if they're pretenders, and I'm gonna see if you guys both agree. Okay, ready? The first one is the famous Cleveland Browns. Are they pretenders or contenders?
Wow, this is a tough one. Actually, most of the teams that are 2-2 are actually in the AFC. Look at the whole AFC South for an example. That whole entire division is 2-2. But I mean, if you look at how close the AFC North is, the Pittsburgh Steelers are only 1 game back. They're 1-3. Then you have Baltimore, who's basically tied with them.
Okay, so are they contenders or pretenders?
I think they're contenders.
Why?
Again, most of the teams are 2-2. So if they get a win, and some of the teams that are 2-2 get a loss, it's gonna be in their favor. You know, it's like, you know, because even if they go second, like even if they finish second in the season, you know, you have to consider that Jacksonville also started 2-2, Houston started 2-2, Indianapolis started 2-2, Oakland, the Chargers, Baltimore as well, Tennessee, they all are 2-2. So it's gonna be tight for the AFC, but I think they're contenders.
Okay, wait a minute. I don't think you understood my question. Contenders or pretenders? Are they contenders? Are they capable of making a playoff with their offense and their defense, et cetera, et cetera?
Okay, then yeah.
So you think they're good enough?
Yeah, I think they're good enough.
I don't think so. I think the penalties is gonna cost them.
Okay.
As much as I want them to make it to the playoffs, but it's just like I've been watching those 4 games and they still can't be disciplined. I think it'll cost them.
Okay, contender, pretender, the Philadelphia Eagles, Junior.
Contenders. I think they get their shit together. I know that Carson Wentz has some of his weapons injured, but they got it. They got it right against Green Bay, even though he himself struggled. But they find ways to win, and I think their secondary is going to be terrible throughout the year unless something happens, unless they trade for Jalen Ramsey, even though that the owner said
they're not
going to do it. They just have to do something. I don't know, but I think they are contenders.
Pretender.
Why?
The defense is not going to hold up. The secondary is going to get torched every single game. It's going to cost them. And, I mean, look at the rest of the NFC. I mean, we all know that the NFC is a tougher conference to play in because there's a lot more competition. And I feel like they're going to be behind because there's a lot teams that are better than them in the conference. So I think they're a pretender.
Wow. Pretender says Vinny. Contender says Junior. And for your information, Vinny, torching the secondary, 425 yards by Aaron Rodgers, but they lost. So let's go ahead and continue. All right, Junior. I know you love my boys, the Minnesota Vikings. Contender or pretender?
No, they're pretenders, man. They're not gonna win anything. I think they're better. I think there's better teams than Minnesota. Obviously, Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs are frustrated the way how things are going with the offensive game plan, and I don't know. Unless something happens, unless Kirk Cousins starts proving himself that he's worth all these millions of dollars that they signed him to be, I mean, then I don't know. I mean, for me, I think they're pretenders.
Yeah, I think they're pretenders too. I mean, the only offensive identity they have is Dalvin Cook, and when you surround yourself with superstars such as Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen, you know, you're not using all the talent that's capable. You're just using Dalvin Cook, and
here's one quick thing.
Yeah.
If they are 4-0 or 3-1, will we still be hearing this news right here about Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs not getting the ball? If they're 3-1 or 4-0 instead of 2-2?
That's a tough question, but I feel like it's more of less like them not using either.
Utilizing them.
Utilizing
Like
them.
the way how Jared Goff does not know how to
'Cause
utilize
again-
Robert Woods.
Because again, if it was if they were 3-1, I think Diggs and Thielen would be like,
Okay.
we'd be 4-0 if you
Start
would have
throwing me
used
the
me.
ball.
We would
Mhm.
be the best team right now if you would have used me. But no, we have a loss. Or if they're 2-2, the same thing. But I think they're pretenders as well.
Yeah.
I think
Rumors
they're
are going around
pretenders.
that Stephon Diggs about something about trading him or something like that.
Wow. I didn't hear about that. I heard the Thielen thing, but not that. Okay, number 4. I'm going to put it out there. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Pretenders or contenders?
No, I think they're contenders. The way how they played the first 4 games, it came kind of close. Even though at the end they were trying to keep up with Patrick Mahomes in the 3rd week, and then they just lost to their divisional rival. So when you're playing in your division, it's pretty tough. So I think they could get in there in the wild card or actually win the division.
Yeah, I feel like that. I feel like they're also contenders as well. I feel like the AFC North is really tight, as I stated. But yeah, I think the same thing too. They can win their division and they can sneak in a wild card. And I think this team is actually good enough. And Lamar Jackson hasn't been bad for a running back, as he said. So he's been having a surprise season. I actually was one of the people that wasn't even expecting a season at all from him.
Yeah, me either. I wasn't expecting him to be a more pocket passer, improving his pocket game.
Yeah, but I think he's been having a heck of a year thus far, and I hope he keeps it up because this team is actually very entertaining to watch.
And just remember, I chose them to win the division.
You did.
Okay, and last but not least, it's got to come out of the AFC South. It's the Texans, Colts, Jags, and Titans. So, contender, pretender, give me some Tennessee Titans.
No, they're a pretender. I don't think Mariota. I don't believe in him, man. Like that defense is carrying fucking Mariota. So that's all I gotta say. Like I don't believe in him.
Yeah, I think it's very tough. I mean, they are 0-2 against the division, but then look at the teams that they've beaten. They've beaten actually really good teams. They've beaten one of the best passing teams, the Falcons. They completely shut them down. Okay, it was actually embarrassing. I was actually embarrassed to be an Atlanta fan that day. Well, I mean, every day I'm kind of not proud to be an Atlanta fan, but anyways, I mean, and they completely shut down the Browns week 1, which I'm still surprised that even happened. I keep forgetting it happened. Actually, I always forget. Man, that happened. I can't believe it. But I mean, we saw against the Colts, it was a close game, but they lost. Jaguars, they looked terrible, and they were even considering Tannehill to start. It's very tough. If there was a way to go both, I would, because it's so tight in the AFC South.
Gotta be one.
But for right now, I think they are a contender because they're 2-2. They're 2-2. The rest of the division's 2-2 as well. And I don't think any of the teams are facing divisional.
Who the hell do they got? Who they got next right now?
They have Buffalo.
Oh my god, that's a fucking easy
But
dub.
I don't think any of the other teams. I don't think any of the
They
other.
don't. I mean, because it's in their division. That's why.
But you also have to consider that they all have the same record in the AFC South. They all have the same record. Right. So all these teams can possibly go 2-3 to start the season. So they're a contender right now.
Who does
Houston
have? No, I'm sorry. Who does Houston have?
Houston.
Yeah, who does Houston have?
I think they have Atlanta. Yeah, they have Atlanta. Look at it, Junior. Listen to this just real quick, okay? I just want to share something with you. The Titans against the Falcons, okay? I mean, they had, and this is what I was talking about to Vincent the other day. After in the middle of the week, they had one of the most complete football games I have ever seen statistically. Okay, their quarterback passed for 227 yards and 3 TDs. Okay, doesn't matter his completion percentage or anything. He was 18 to 27, but that's
close
matter.
enough. Mm-hmm.
Derrick Henry, they had a 100-yard rusher. He rushed for over 100 yards, and he had 2 receivers with over 90 yards and a touchdown apiece. I mean, that is a complete game. And that's why those stats alone show, like, statistic-wise, I mean, that is a complete game. When you have 2 receivers that you can dish out the ball 90 yards to, each of them, and one of them had 2 touchdowns, the other one had 1 touchdown, and then you had a 100-yard rusher, and your quarterback passes like for a rating of 129.7. That's got to mean something. That's good.
It is good,
That's
but
good.
I still don't.
Oh, I know you don't believe.
I don't.
Okay, that was my contender pretender.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Tampa Bay because I was gonna say that's a fucking hard one.
No, they're out of
No,
it.
No, their
Carolina
defense
and
is fucking
Tampa
playing
Bay.
great. That's just what it is. Shaquille Barrett's being a beast,
Yeah,
man.
Shaquille Barrett.
Damn. Okay, it's time for the records. Who got it?
I got it. Okay, here we go. Last week's games: Colts, Raiders, Browns, Ravens, Texans, Panthers, Seahawks, Cardinals, and Cowboys, Saints. The result: you and I, Junior, went 2-3, and Vincent went 3-2. So, me and you, Junior, are 6-4,
Okay.
and Vinny is 7-3 with the lead.
Okay, so we're just a game behind.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. All right, so let's look at these matchups real quick. Vinny, if you have them on here, popping up, and then just give me the
Okay.
The rundown.
So the first game I have is Jacksonville and Carolina. Should we even consider that game as a
As a game?
game? Exactly.
Minshew Mania. You know what I'm saying?
Both 2-2. They might be on next week's Pretender and Contender.
Yeah, they actually might be.
How the hell is? Oh my God. Okay. I will just go with the Panthers because I think the Panthers are. Oh wait, you know what? Never mind. Because fucking Kyle Allen's playing,
Kyle Allen.
and he's going against. He ain't gonna be passing the ball to
Yeah.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, who I cannot believe is a #1 receiver in the league. I actually got Jacksonville again.
Yeah, I'll get Jacksonville in this
yeah,
one.
Yeah, I think I got Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Me too.
Minshew.
Minshew's having a great season. Shark's been having a great season. So
Okay, well you missed this one. Jets and Eagles. Who do you guys have in this one?
what?
Jets and Eagles. I
Yep.
got the Jets. Just kidding. I got the Eagles, bro.
All right, Eagles too.
Yeah, I got Eagles.
Yeah. Sam Darnold said he's still getting still wants to be healthy
Oh.
and not die. Something like that. He said
What?
something like that.
All right, dude.
Crabs haven't gone away.
Pretty much. All right, next one's Vikings and Giants.
Vikings and Giants. I got it. You know what? After all that talk over the weekend or all this week, I'm taking the Vikings. I think the Vikings are now. I think they're gonna open it up now. I mean, all this talk, all this, it's got to be used. It's got to get somebody pumping, and I think the Vikings are gonna win big.
Yeah, on Monday, I think it was Monday. Yeah, Monday Kirk Cousins was on his own radio show, and
Apologize to Thielen.
yeah, but yeah, I'll take the Vikings in this one.
Yeah, I got the Vikings too. The Giants have one of the worst secondaries, and I think it's the perfect time for Minnesota to open it up. Yep. Yeah, I got the Vikings.
Okay. The next one's Falcons and Texans. Dad, let me have this one.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna get the Texans on this one, even though they disappointed me last week. Wait, did they win last week? No, huh?
No, they
No.
didn't.
Okay, give me the Texans on this one.
They lost to the Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see how Deshaun Watson was explaining the coverage?
No, I didn't.
No,
Oh,
it was
you gotta
it was
watch
pretty
that.
awesome,
Yeah,
dude.
This reporter asked them, was there any way you can exploit their
defense.
You know, if was there anything that was bothering you, the way the coverage was set up? And all of a sudden he just started like literally dissecting the Panthers defense, the way that they were playing. He's like,
I had to listen to it 3 times, and then I had to picture like you know
The
how in the game Madden
playbook.
game, yeah, the Madden playbook, the way how it was and everything is all set. It's like he was like, yeah, here are the 2 corners right here. I mean the two safeties. They were coming down to get the 2, and then Luke Kuechly was in the middle, but then like he was blocking out this whole middle area where Hopkins was trying to do this and that and shit like that.
yeah, and then
Trying to
he was
get to
like-
the double move so you could get to the outside.
They played a cover 3 buzz.
Yeah, cover 3,
Uh,
then cover 2, and all this stuff, and I'm like, fuck. But it was pretty awesome the way how he explained it to the reporter. It was pretty cool. Okay, so I got the Texans in this one.
Man, dude. A part of me wants to say that the Falcons are going to bounce back, but also a part of me says that the Falcons are probably going to drown in this game. But you know what? I'm gonna have to take. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take the Falcons, dude.
Fuck yeah, thank you.
I think I'm gonna have to take the Falcons. They're my team, man. I gotta be behind them.
You know what? They let me down so many times this year, as far as just in my fantasy, bro. I mean, I gotta go with the Falcons as well. So it's gonna be Junior Texans, me and you, or the Falcons.
Okay. Bucks and Saints. Oh, sometimes they got me thinking on the way over here about this game. And I know that the Saints don't have Drew Brees. The Teddy Bridgewater was struggling against the Cowboys defense. Let me get on this one too. I'll get on this one.
This one?
Yep. I'm gonna go, but then again, Marshawn Lattimore locks down Mike Evans. But then Godwin's up and coming right now, and he's been playing great. Let me get the Bucks in this one.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna get this one. I'm gonna get the Bucks. Put me on the Bucks. I think their defense has been great, and I think that they're gonna put a lot of pressure on Teddy Bridgewater. So let me get him.
Yeah, so far, the Saints, like the way that they've been moving the ball is just not impressing me.
I know, like they don't. He doesn't give it to his playmakers, man. Last week I was like, I have Alvin Kamara in fantasy.
Yeah.
And it was just so frustrating to see how
I feel like they're having him on a very strict
leash.
On a strict leash, you know, because again, I mean, you're losing out. Your best, one of the best quarterbacks last season, by far. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the league, Drew Brees. And right now they're in a situation that they have to win at least 3 games to at least have a shot at making the postseason. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think they've been trying to play Bridgewater strictly, and they don't want him to get injured because then who would be their quarterback? It'd be Taysom Hill, and Taysom Hill. Even though my dad he doesn't like him because he thinks he's probably the most weirdest player ever.
What?
Yeah, he does.
That dude is underrated. Bro. He plays every position.
He's again. But we always see at least
Edelman did it.
3 to 4.
No, what are you talking about in the NFL? He played corner. Remember, long time ago, 2011.
Yeah, oh my God, he just played not even for a full year. He just played a couple of plays.
Yeah, that's what Taysom Hill does.
No. Taysom Hill, I don't know what he is. Quarterback, running back, slot back, wide out. I don't know what the hell he is.
I think on Yahoo Fantasy they have him in each of those positions.
Oh my God,
I think he does.
You can put him in any position.
So who's your pick, Vinny?
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to go with the Bucks. I think I'm gonna go with Junior on this one. I think I got the Bucks on this game.
Okay, I gotta go with the Saints. They're gonna bounce back, I think. Junior, you said everything right, dude. He's not giving it to his playmakers. I understand that. I know, and his playmakers are showing a lot of frustration on the sidelines last week against the Dallas. But I think it's gonna change this week. I think they're gonna have to let him go, and I think the Saints are gonna beat the Bucks.
And by meaning you gotta let them go, it's just Michael Thomas. Because
I meant Bridgewater. I meant Bridgewater. They have to let him just sling it, sling it and give it to his, like you say, the playmakers. And Michael Thomas being one of them. Yes, Michael Thomas. I think they're just gonna have to let him unleash. They're gonna have to let him go. So.
Okay. The next one's Bills and Titans.
This is the one I wanted.
You want this one?
Uh-huh. Yeah, this is the one I wanted. I'm going for Tennessee. Even though the Patriots struggled against the Bills, I think, being that it's going to be in Tennessee, I feel that this is a chance for Tennessee to put a winning streak together. They have their next 4 games at home. So I hope that this is it, that this is where they take off with the AFC South, which I predicted. So I think this is a first game, perfect opportunity. I'm taking the Bills.
Fuck, why this game? This game sucks.
No, it doesn't.
Oh my God. Matt Barkley, really? That's who they're playing against. Give me the Titans on this one. I'm going the safe side. I have no
He's going
choice.
Well,
Vinny, pick the Titans, bro. You wanna
the defense is scaring me for Tennessee. The defense for the Buffalo Bills is scaring me.
Why? I mean, it's an even. But who's the better quarterback? I would go with Mariota over
I know,
Barkley,
but-
bro. Like, I had to
I
choose
know,
between the
but
two.
I mean, look at how the Bills. Look how they just stopped New England. You know, look how they just neutralized everything that was. Your leading rusher was Brandon Bolden. Are you kidding me?
yeah, bro,
that's
what's
like
wrong with him? He's pretty cool.
He's the fifth. He's the fifth string running back, dude.
So what are you taking?
I'm taking Buffalo. on
Man,
this
take
one.
Buffalo
I'm
so,
taking
so we could
Buffalo.
all have a tie.
I'm taking Buffalo, man.
Oh, God. All right, how many we got? 3 of them, right?
Three, yeah.
Okay,
That's 3.
so then 2 randoms.
2 randoms.
Okay, so we got the Cards and the Bengals. Do the oh my God, these teams are gonna get their first win.
Oh my God! Wait,
I just noticed.
I
I was about to say the 0-4. Can they win? Can they finally win the first one? But I forgot. Cardinals are 0-3-1.
Well, I feel well. You already know my personal opinion on the Cardinals. I feel like they're a 1-3 team.
They are, yeah.
They are a 1-3 team. The way that they played that game against the Lions, they won that game. I don't care if it's a tie. I felt like they won that game. You know, but who are we going on this one?
I think we all
Who are
can
we
agree with the
going?
Cardinals.
It's gonna be the Cardinals, right?
I gotta go with the Cardinals.
Yeah, let's go with the
They're gonna
Cardinals.
finally get their
We're
win.
in. Okay. Next one's Patriots and Redskins. Colt McCoy starting. Dad, you're like, yeah, Colt McCoy.
Yeah,
all
he
this
knows
stuff.
the playbook.
Yeah. You're gonna pick
Gonna
them
be the
over New England?
Patriots.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
He
Damn.
knows his boy,
Yeah.
Jay Gruden.
Yeah. He about to get fired after this season.
I hope so.
Yeah, I got the Patriots
Yeah,
too.
Patriots.
Okay, Ravens Steelers.
Should we put this one as
Um.
a choice?
With the games that are left over, yeah.
The games that
Yeah.
are left over. I mean, we have.
Oh no, we got 2 of them.
Never mind. Yeah,
I got 3 of
you're
them.
right, you're right.
I see
Yeah,
3.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
I see
Okay,
3.
Yeah, who we
No.
got here?
I got the Ravens on this one
Yeah,
because
Ravens,
Mason,
Ravens.
he's also on a leash too.
He's good, but not good enough.
Yeah.
He's good, but
They got. He has to give it a Juju. I don't know why Juju's out there fucking saying, "Oh, let's play Fortnite and all this shit." You got to go up to your quarterback and just be like, "Yo, bro, I'm a playmaker. He's in the slot. He's in the slot,
I
dude."
completely agree with you, Junior. When I saw him in the slot last week, I was like, "What are you doing?" When he was going to the sideline talking about Fortnite.
Yeah.
I thought the exact same thing, Junior. When I saw him in the slot, I was like, "Oh, damn." Like,
Exactly.
that is trouble.
Yeah.
Like, there is no reason why Mason Rudolph cannot give him the ball. And then they showed him, a little, I guess he was mic'd up.
Yeah. He goes, "Hey, what you guys doing
Yeah.
today?"
I'm going to go play some Fortnite.
Yeah.
I was like, ridiculous. Go up to your quarterback and tell him, "Hey, bro, look where I'm at. Give me the
Yeah.
ball."
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why he didn't do that, but I got the Ravens in this one.
I got the
I
Ravens.
think the only reason why he did that is because they dominated that game against Cincy. So I feel
That's
like
pretty much
I
true.
feel
But
like- I
but
feel
still, look, but still,
that just creates
he's
tension
not-
when you just go up to your I mean, he's a new quarterback.
I know, but
He's not gonna be the starter next year.
I know he's not, but
anything. Like, hey, bro, you got me over here. Or just anything.
Mhm.
Not one word.
and he's throwing to these no-name receivers like
Well,
freaking
I mean,
Deontay
okay,
Johnson
well,
or something like
Washington-
that.
Washington. He has a history with Washington. He went to school with Washington. He went to the same college as Washington,
Mhm.
where they were spectacular with together. So of
Their
course
numbers were
he's gonna give him the ball more, of course. So since I think you noticed that he was playing the one position, and that's why they had Juju at the slot. But the other guy, I don't know who the heck that guy was. Whoever caught that first touchdown pass, I don't know.
DeAndre
Johnson,
Johnson,
I
something like that. Who the hell? we have the Dodger game
Derek
right
May.
now.
We got Derek May at the mound right now, and
I thought it was
Junior just saw him for the first time. Dustin
Dustin
May. Dustin May. Junior just saw him for the first time and had a laugh attack.
Oh my God, this guy is. He has
Looks like
weird-
sheepdog ears.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so we all got the Ravens on this one, but yes, Juju needs to somehow have some chemistry with Mason,
Yeah, I
or
agree
else
with
he's
you.
gonna have
I
a
agree
tough,
with you.
long season. And
Dude,
fantasy-wise,
he is on
purpose-
he is on Jenny's fantasy team, so he's
Yeah.
got to give her a couple points rather than the 7 that she's
Seven
been
and
getting
3 or
lately.
4. She's been having some frustrations with Baker and Juju.
Yeah.
That sucks. All right, the next game is at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, according to right here some history. You know what I'm saying? Bears and Raiders. I think the Bears get this one. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just because of their defense.
The defense has been carrying them like the whole season. So like, I think I just think the Bears are gonna win. There's nothing I can say for the Raiders.
I think it's a Khalil Mack attack. I think Khalil Mack will break Derek Thomas's sack record.
How much is that?
10
In a game?
in a game. Derek Thomas from the Kansas City Chiefs had 10 sacks. I think Khalil's gonna smash it this week. I have a feeling.
Oh yeah,
Khalil's
that's
gonna
right.
be all over the Raiders, dude.
Should have paid me.
Yep, should have paid me. Now I'm gonna hurt your quarterback.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Bears.
All right. So we got the Broncos and the Chargers. Melvin Gordon's expected to play.
Starting.
Okay, but then they said that he's not gonna be in a work. He's gonna be getting
gonna
15. Yeah.
He's still starting. He's still starting.
Yeah, Melvin Gordon is starting, but they are splitting carries.
Okay.
And I'm taking the
Chargers in this one. Chargers in this one. What do you got?
Who are they playing again?
Broncos.
Oh yeah.
Broncos defense is ass. I already told you that, Vinny.
Chubb
Out for the season.
basically out
Sucks.
for the season. Sucks. So there goes my prediction. Actually, since week 1, there went my prediction. So yeah, Chargers on this one.
Okay, Packers Cowboys. That'll be one.
It's gonna be 1.
Yes.
Okay.
I got the Cowboys in this one. I think Aaron Rodgers without Devontae Adams is going to be having some kind of struggle with either getting connections with Marcus Valdez as the number 1 guy and Geronimo Allison. Jimmy Graham's still going to be Jimmy Graham.
This game, if Adams was playing, this would be
A no-brainer.
A heck of a game. No, it wouldn't even be a no-brainer. This would be a heck of a game.
Well, I only say no-brainer because Aaron Rodgers owns them.
Well, again, you have to consider how bad the rushing defense is for the Packers.
True. Okay.
And I feel like Ezekiel Elliott is going to run all over them. And I think the Cowboys are going to run all over them. And I think they're going to win. I think they're going to beat the Packers. I think with Adams being out with turf toe, it sucks. It's a big blow to their offense. He's still questionable, isn't he?
No, he's out.
Oh, he's
ruled out.
He's ruled out?
Mhm.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then it's a big loss for the Packers, and I feel like it's going to be tough for Rodgers to do his job.
Yeah, Schefter ruled him out like on Monday.
Monday.
On Monday, yeah, ruled him out on Monday.
Wow.
So you have.
I have the Packers. I have the Cowboys.
Damn.
And you have.
That was the Cowboys.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Cowboys. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Oh, all of
ruin
a
my
sudden, but yeah,
record.
you have the Packers over the Cowboys on your power ranking.
Yeah, I do, but I gotta go with the Cowboys, being that Devontae Adams is not playing. I hope the Packers win, so that means my power rankings are correct. But I like the Cowboys just because they might even get Michael Gallup back this week. And I'm
I think they are.
Forward to that if they do. But yeah, I got Cowboys as well.
Okay, Sunday night. Wish Andy was here. Colts and Chiefs. For you? I wasn't even eyeballing that one.
Which one were you eyeballing? Monday night?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be it.
Okay.
How many games have we done already?
4.
Okay, yeah.
So
Who are we picking for the Chiefs?
they're at Arrowhead, so yeah, I'm getting the Chiefs. I think
Arrowhead? Yep, Chiefs. Yeah, I got the Chiefs.
Browns. Oh wait, is Ty T.Y. Hilton gonna be playing? I heard he's not gonna be playing.
T.Y. Hilton. Oh, he's questionable, but so is Marlon Mack. So and we got Damian Williams, Sammy Watkins. They are also questionable, but I don't think it matters. He's got more weapons than anybody, so I'm still taking KC.
I think Watkins. I think he went probable this morning.
Oh, okay.
I had checked fantasy, and I think Watkins updated to probable.
Okay, that's not like you need him because he's
Yeah,
ass.
I know, but again, you know how fantasy works. It always goes from probable. He might it's a better chance of him playing. Questionable. It's still
Oh,
whatever.
okay, all that
but
stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I still got the Chiefs. They're
Yeah.
playing in Arrowhead. Come on,
Yeah.
let's be real here.
Okay, so for this one, it's the Browns and the Niners. I'll go with the Browns in this one. I think they'll keep the momentum going, like the way how they played with against the Ravens, who you guys thought that the Ravens were going to win, and I was terrified that you guys might be right. But thank God that the Browns found a way to win against the Ravens. But I think they pull out another one at the Niners Stadium. I got the Browns.
Of course you have the Browns. I got the 49ers all the way. Their offense and their defense is just way better than the Browns, I think. Even though the Browns have all this talent, they haven't been able to get it together. They haven't impressed me in any way. Last game, it was all Nick Chubb. That's it. You know, it wasn't the Browns. It wasn't Odell Beckham. It wasn't even Baker Mayfield, even though he had 300 and some odd yards. But he only realistically, he only passed for like 13 yards while Jarvis Landry ran the rest. So I would.
That's all you need.
I do not feel that they've gotten it together yet. I think the Niners take this one easily.
Okay, what about you, Vin?
I feel like I feel like they have a lot of good things going for them, as far as rushing and passing, and I think I'm gonna have to go with Niners on this one as well. The Niners, they just need to fix. I mean, look at the Browns. You know, they have to. How are they gonna implement all these stars into their team? I feel like, you know, the Niners, all they have to do is just fix one problem. That's the turnover problem. That's it.
I think that's why I'm going with them, because the way how I saw with against the Steelers, that was like back-to-back drives, right, Pop? Was it back-to-back? Like 4 straight drives, turning the ball over, and that was almost inside the red zone, like inside the 20-yard line.
I hope this bye week they got that turnover situation situated. I think they should have worked on it. So I feel like it was their time to get it together. So that was their time. That was the extra time that they spent on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too. Plus, they have Tevin Coleman coming back, who I think, I mean, so far in that Tampa Bay game, he only played half of that game. He was a big part of that running game, as well as who was the other running back? Alfred Morris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No,
not Alfred Morris. I'm sorry. Not Breida. I always get them mixed up for some reason. But yeah, I feel like they're both strong. Even their third running back,
Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, Mostert he's really good too. You know, both these running backs are very. All three of the running backs are strong, and I feel like the Niners, I think they're gonna take this one, even though they're probably looked upon as one of the worst undefeated teams in the league. I feel like they can still pull it off. I think so.
They're an awful team.
I think they can still pull it off.
Okay, so let's recap what we picked, Pop.
Okay, I have for the picks. Here we go. We got Texans Falcons. Me and Vinny are taking the Falcons, while Junior takes the Texans. Saints Bucks. I'm picking the Saints. You guys are picking the Bucks. Bills Titans. Me and Vinny are going for the Titans. I'm sorry, I take it back. Me and Junior are going for the Titans. Vinny's going for the Bills. Packers Cowboys. We're all unanimous. We're going Cowboys. And the Browns Niners is a split. Me and Vinny have the Niners, and Junior has the Browns.
Okay. Well, that is all it for today, guys.
Yep.
So we'll see you guys next week with Dad's updated power rankings. We'll see how this week's the Cowboys should have been at top 5, dude. Like, I swear that bothered me so much.
Leave me alone.
I don't know what the Bears were doing.
I don't know when the Bears were doing
dude.
Number 8.
Number 8.
What the fuck?
I don't know what happened right there. that was a little ridiculous in my opinion.
Oh, and the Dodgers
just scored again, 3-2. In the bottom of the 7th, Max Muncy hit a homer.
And who the hell's Doolittle?
Dr. Doolittle. He talks to the animals.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll see you guys. We got to watch this Dodger game.
All right. Peace.